7 Minutes to Success, and today, guess what we're talking about?
Forming new habits.
I like to say new positive habits,
Oh,
because we
that
can
is
start all
perfect.
kinds of habits.
Yeah.
But when you can start positive habits, that's when you know you got something. Now, for me, if I'm going to start a new habit, I'm going to have to look at the positive benefits that it's going to bring me in the end, because you know I'm the girl who likes to know what it's going to look like in the end,
In
right?
the end.
So starting new positive habits, that could be waking up earlier, that could be taking notes at a certain time, that could be setting aside a time, to meditate.
Yes.
That could be setting aside time to connect with someone new every day. That's a habit I have, is that I make sure that every single day I connect with someone. It doesn't have to be in person. Guess what? It could be on LinkedIn, it could be on Facebook,
Oh,
it could be
yes.
on anything that you use as social media. But if you connect with someone or like something or say, hey, I admire what you do, guess what? We just connected with someone that we never knew today and learned that they have a great business, that their friend has a
Awesome
great business,
business.
that they're working on some amazing things. So, hey, I met my quota for today.
And think about this, is do something that stretches you. Get out of your comfort zone. You see, the number one reason that a lot of businesses fail is not because they don't have a great idea,
You're right.
a great even business,
Right. And
They-
sometimes even a little money.
a little money. You know what it is? They cannot attract or keep a customer. Now, think about this for
It's
a
kind of
moment.
one of those principles that people have forgotten, that the customer is almost always right.
Yes.
And not almost, but they're always right. And when a customer is telling you what they need, you have to figure out, can I give you what you need? Can I deliver? And if you can't, you need to let them know you can't deliver it, so
Right.
that you're not, giving false information.
And so when we talk about acquiring and keeping a customer, what we're really talking about is providing that wow factor. So maybe a new habit for you is taking a look at your customer base. When was the last time you made contact with your customer to give them value without trying to make a sale?
Exactly, and sometimes it's really about giving that value first. Sometimes it's about letting them know what you can offer. The one thing that I learned through many years of networking is that people would show up to networking events and they would pass their cards around like a deck of cards. Never give you eye contact. It would literally be like this.
Yes.
And what I used to do, it might be rude, but I would just push the card back to the middle of the table. The reason I used to do that is because I wanted somebody to ask me why I did it, and then I could explain to them how I felt like that was not the right way to network. So how is it that you can give me value, or that you can solve my problem? You've never looked me in my eye. All you
Right.
did was pass me a card. I don't care if you sell insurance or whatever. How do you know that I could be a customer for you? Because just because you built it doesn't mean I'm going to come.
Exactly.
So think about new habits that you can set. And if that habit is that you need to learn how to network better, you need to learn how to connect better, you need to learn how to negotiate better, you need to learn how to partner with people better, you need to learn how to formalize a book, 7 Minutes to Success. If you need to learn how to write that book and you need that 1, 2, 3 step, learn how to form new habits. New habits, really, you know what it is?
What's that?
It's all about retraining the brain.
Ooh. Say that
And
again.
It's all about retraining the brain. And if I used to wake up every day at 9 a.m., but I need to accomplish some things, I might wake up at 7 now.
There's an interesting story. When Don and I met almost a year ago, is I was bragging. I'll be honest with you, I'm a guy's guy. You
He
know
was
how we
bragging. He
do.
was
I was
bragging.
bragging that I get up at 4:30 in the morning for my 5 a.m. Power 5 at 5.
I never said a word for a couple of weeks.
No, she didn't. She was very humble, very meek. You know, but don't be fooled. Very powerful, very strong partner. And somehow I forget how that conversation came about. Well, I was
I think
boasting
what
about
happened
getting up
is
early.
after he had bragged so much, I finally said, well, that's nice, but one day you're going to catch up with me and get up at 3. And he said, what? You get up at 3? It was like the competition was on.
It was
and
on.
And he said, well, you never told me. I said, today is the last day. I want to hear about your 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
When
about
I done-
4:30.
When I done done 15 things
Right.
before you get on
Right.
your call. And it was so funny and it was so fun. But guess what? He adjusted so well. He started getting up. When I would call him, he'd be ready. Wouldn't be, hello. He'd be like, hey, I'm ready. And so I trained him pretty well.
Matter of fact, we even did
I
an
trained
audio.
him
We
pretty
did
well.
Listen, we did an audio book
On a Saturday
on
morning
a Saturday morning
at 3
At
a.m.
3
and got it done.
in the studio at 3 a.m. By the way,
Yeah.
all right, which means I had to get up about 2
Right.
and then drive to the studio.
But
and
it
we
was
made
the
it happen.
time that was allotted to make that thing. So we set a new positive habit.
Yes.
That day was, one, you needed to get your audiobook interview done.
Yes.
Two, it had to be done that day because you had plans for it to be mass produced
That's right.
within a few days. So it had
That's
to
right.
be that day. I had other things planned, and I said, buddy, if you can't get up at 3 and we do it, then I don't know when. And he said, I'll be up. And I thought,
Right. I believe it was a challenge. I think it was a test to see if I was committed. And so when we talk about forming a new habit, it's getting again out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
It's also
Yeah.
being accountable to someone. I had to make myself accountable.
Now, can you imagine if I'm ready, I got all my audio stuff ready, and I got up, and he didn't answer the phone?
Right.
He may have lost an opportunity.
And
be
we
able to
probably
get
wouldn't have
what
been
he
partners.
needed, and we probably wouldn't have been partners. I would have fired him.
Before we really got started.
You're fired.
Right.
Yeah, before we got started, because to me it also sets up a form of respect. He respects my time. I respect his time. So that was a new positive habit
Yes.
that we even set as a respect factor for one another. So if you want to be successful, if you want to set up a legacy through entrepreneurship, if you want to be just an on-point entrepreneur, small business owner, whatever you want to call yourself, guess what? You're going to have to challenge yourself. You're going to have to set some new habits, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You got to retrain that brain. Doesn't matter
That
how
is
you grew
powerful.
up. Doesn't matter what your mama told you, your daddy told you, or what people tell you can't do. If you form a new habit, and then you stick with it, and you believe it, you have to actually believe it, you will make it happen.
Yes. And here's something else. You know, when we met, it's interesting, is that we didn't meet traditionally. You know, most of the time when it comes to partnership, you meet face to face, maybe at a networking event, a conference, a seminar, a workshop,
Yeah. Or somebody
or
introduce
someone
you.
introduce you.
Right.
We met via LinkedIn. So for all
August
of you,
5th, 2015.
and it's interesting because her profile said something that caught my attention. She put speaker, and then she put
in parentheses, in
paid.
capital letters, paid. And let me tell you, that was a method to my madness. The reason I put paid speaker is because I got a lot of requests to come and speak to women's groups and in events, and people had no idea that I wasn't just a speaker, but that I've been a paid speaker for almost 20 years. So I put that there, and I'm going to tell you, it weeds out. When you tell people who you are, they have no choice but to believe
You
it.
know what?
And
Yes.
they will respect you, and then you will get those requests that says, I know she's paid because it's in her profile, so I'm not going to ask her to speak for free. So I did that on purpose, and because he liked it, here we are.
Here we are.
Partnering and co-authors to 7 Minutes to Success. If you want a signed autographed copy, go to 7minutestosuccess.tv. That's 7 as in the number, minutes, and then the number 2, success.tv, and keep listening to all of these great nuggets that we're giving you, because we just want you to be successful. We've been there, we've done that, we're continuing to succeed, and we're doing so many other great things together, so many books, so many workshops, retreats, everything, and it'll all be on the website of 7minutestosuccess.tv.
Right. So your task, write this down, your
Write
task
it down now,
is
for
to
real.
go to the website www.minutes to success.tv. 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 2 success.tv.
And look at all of the principles that we have in the 7 Minutes to Success the 7 Minutes to Success book, but also we have a journal that's already out, and we also have a
Yes.
workbook where we do retreats around the world. It's like a big mastermind. We don't invite more than 20 people, so it's very intimate, very private. You're listening to people who have been there, done that, been in business for more than 20 years, and we just want to help you to succeed, to set up your legacy through entrepreneurship. Isn't that right, Lionel?
That's absolutely correct. And one last thing I want to say is this. Form a new habit, not tomorrow. Why don't you consider doing it right now? And maybe, you know what a good habit is?
What?
Every week, listen to the podcast.
And that's right. And not only that, check out the videos as we do
Yes,
the podcast,
yes,
and,
yes.
and make sure that you get an opportunity to see who we are, see what we're all about. We just want to have fun with you, but we also want to help you to plan and to plan successfully. Isn't that right?
Right.
So you're listening to Dawn Fobbs
And
7
Lyman
Minutes to
Montgomery.
Success and Lyman Montgomery, and we just want to help you to be successful and for you to kind of shortcut and get to where you need to be a little bit faster. You're listening to 7 Minutes to Success, and until next time, make sure you form great habits.
And stay focused.
Stay focused.